Hello, these are artificial intelligence-generated voices, but the words read were created solely by humans using artificial intelligence for some of the writing, as well as Microsoft's Clipchamp to generate the voices and the podcast recordings.
Welcome back to our podcast series on Emergency Support Functions, or ESFs. I'm Mike Prasad from the Center for Emergency Management Intelligence Research. And on this episode, we're diving into Emergency Support Function number 11, Agriculture and Natural Resources. Now, for those who might not be familiar, ESF 11 helps coordinate efforts to protect the nation's food supply, manage agricultural resources, and ensure the safety of animals, including our pets, and natural resources during disasters. But what does this mean in the context of a disaster, and why is it so important for families and children? To help explain, I'm joined again by Patricia Frost, Vice Chair of the National Pediatric Disaster Coalition. Pat, what is the big picture here for children and their families?
This ESF covers many areas in disasters that have the potential to impact children. During the immediate emergency response period, the focus is all about life safety, and access to nutritious food and clean water is at the top of that list. Children need to have access to healthy, age-appropriate meals. And in sheltering operations, this is not always available. For example, MREs or meals ready to eat, which are individual food rations used in humanitarian field conditions when other food is not available, are typically not appropriate for growing children. MREs are designed to provide a full day's worth of feeding, but they are low in some nutrients such as fiber and essential fatty acids. Their shelf-stable status also means they are generally very high in sodium for preserving. Children eating MREs may experience diarrhea or constipation and lose weight during sheltering operations. Children's nutritional needs differ from adults, and disruptions to things like school-based meal programs, which are designed by nutritionists, can have a serious impact.
That's a great point. We saw this play out during the COVID-19 pandemic when school closures interrupted healthy meal programs for millions of kids. Communities had to step up logistics efforts to get nutritious meals to children who needed them most. How does that experience translate to what ESF 11 does during other emergencies?
During the pandemic, we learned a lot about the importance of logistics to get food to children when regular distribution systems are disrupted. There were school systems that actually set up programs to deliver meals to their children during the pandemic isolation period. That's really where ESF 11 comes in. Whether it's a hurricane, wildfire, or another incident that disrupts food supplies, ESF 11 helps coordinate resources to make sure children don't go hungry. And this is particularly challenging for families already relying on programs like WIC, SNAP, or food pantries, which is one of the reasons under the COVID-19 emergency declarations in every state and territory, more families were able to qualify for food assistance programs. In an emergency, access to these resources can be interrupted, leaving families in an even more vulnerable situation.
I think a lot of people don't realize how much of an impact these disruptions to food systems can have on children. But there's also the larger, long-term picture, right? Like protecting natural resources for the future.
Absolutely. ESF 11 isn't just about immediate needs. It also protects our natural resources, which are critical for future generations. Children today depend on healthy ecosystems for clean air, water, and sustainable food sources. So part of the response under ESF 11 is ensuring that environmental damage during a disaster, like contamination of farmland or damage to water supplies, is mitigated. By protecting natural resources, we're really investing in a safer, healthier future for kids.
There are also the risks of foodborne illnesses when farmlands become contaminated. Take the 2024 E. coli outbreak linked to a major fast food establishment as a reminder. Ensuring that our food sources remain safe is essential, especially for children, who are at higher risk of severe illness from pathogens like E. coli. Contaminated food supplies can occur at any time, but when it happens in a disaster, it could lead to serious health problems. And problems where the resources to help, like health clinics and hospitals, may be compromised by the disaster themselves. So ESF 11 isn't just about access to food but also the safety of that food. And there are other food supply chain risks, like infections that can spread from animals to people, right?
A recurring concern is any of the viruses which spread from animals to people, like the H5N1 bird flu virus, which affects many types of farm animals and has potential health risks if people are exposed. While the risk of children contracting H5N1 is low, certain precautions are recommended by the CDC, especially in settings like county fairs where farm animals are often present. The CDC advises that young children, especially those under 5, limit contact with livestock, wash their hands regularly after visiting barns, and if possible, enjoy animal exhibits from a bit of a distance. These simple steps can help keep kids safe.
In my experience, ESF 11's responsibilities extend to preserving natural resources and cross over multiple community lifelines, which are all crucial for the future well-being of children. In addition to providing food and water today, we're talking about protecting the ecosystems that will support children's health as they grow. Safeguarding these resources now helps prevent foodborne outbreaks in the future.
ESF 11 plays a big role in both immediate disaster response and long-term community health. By coordinating efforts to secure safe food supplies and protect natural resources, it really helps ensure that children can be safe and healthy during and after emergencies. This function addresses both immediate needs and the broader issues of food safety, agricultural integrity, and environmental health. Keeping these systems strong is foundational to protecting children's health in times of disaster.
That's such an important point. Protecting food and natural resources now ensures that children have a stable environment for the future. It sounds like ESF 11 is doing a lot to ensure children's needs are met during disasters, from their nutritional health to their environmental health and safety in the broader sense.
It's very much a coordinated effort, and it requires thinking ahead to make sure children have access to the resources they need, even in the face of disasters. Whether it's ensuring healthy meals or preserving natural resources, protecting children's health and well-being is at the heart of it all.
Well, thank you so much for sharing these insights, Pat. ESF 11 plays a crucial role in disaster preparedness and response, particularly regarding children. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Be sure to follow our social media campaign for more tips on how you can help support disaster preparedness in your community, including how you can help ensure that the food and natural resources children rely on are safe and prepared. Stay safe and remember, preparedness is everyone's responsibility. Our next episode will be on ESF number 12, which is energy. Please use hashtag prep for the kids when amplifying any of our messages. Thanks.
Please visit us on the web at npdcoalition.org. Our vision is to support the development of a unified medical and health emergency management community to prepare, respond, and recover from emergencies and disasters.